actually say that if you don't want kids or you don't have kids, it's because you've already done it in another lifetime and this is your final cycle on Earth. Filming, I'm a few days out from turning 38, and a few weeks ago somebody asked me something really interesting. They mentioned something about how I deal with getting old. Now, they didn't mean how I deal with getting old in terms of like getting fatter or uglier or more wrinkly or grey, but more in the sense that every time a birthday goes by, you're technically, you know, one step closer to being 6 feet under. And the person mentions that they feel like they have less time to do everything, and almost like one lifetime isn't enough to do everything. So in this video, I'm going to be going into a few things that I've learned in terms of like mind, body, and spirit, and my journey of getting so-called older. Hey guys, welcome back or to another video. If you are new around here, I am definitely that bad influence that your mother probably warned you about growing up. But either way, I'm super grateful to have you all come and join us. I'm going to split this video into like 4 major sections just so I don't miss anything out. And I'm going to start with career. And career is probably the one I wanted to start on the basis that it's been the most mess for me in my entire life. I'm not even going to lie about that. I just feel like at the age that I'm at now, I've kind of done everything the absolute wrong way round. Now, I understand there's no specific right or wrong way to do things. All I knew when I was around 18, I wasn't going to go to university. I certainly wasn't about to get myself in debt just to so-called be successful by society's terms, because it never made sense in my head that I needed to go into debt in order to get a job to then pay off said debts. That never made sense for me, and it never sat right with me. There's this huge myth still that your 30s instantly mean that you're going to be in a better place in your life, you're going to be really financially secure, and you're going to just like, everything's going to just settle into place magically. That is the myth that is still out there. And this isn't to scare anyone by any means, but this decade can bring a shit ton of pivots and a lot of other challenges into your life that you initially thought that you were kind of over, but you're actually not over. And it's really important to reiterate that these pivots and challenges well into your 30s are completely and totally normal. We keep being sold this idea that once you're in your 30s, you're more stable in all ways possible. And I hate to say this, but it couldn't be further from the truth. And actually, it's a little bit unrealistic as well. In your 30s, it's not that you're more stable. It's just that you might be a little bit better at dealing with certain challenges and certain hurdles. Those comparison traps that you find yourself in your 20s, they don't actually disappear. If anything, they kind of become worse because your life starts transforming in different ways than they did in your 20s. In your 30s, your friend circle gets significantly smaller. Again, it's not to scare you, it's just the way things are. We outgrow people, people outgrow us, and that's totally fine. It's just that people start doing more serious things in their 30s. They start getting married, they move, they start having kids. These are really major pivotal moments in life, and it can't be expected of one to remain the exact same person when there are so many significant changes going on in your life. The biggest lesson for me in my 30s, and this hasn't ended yet, is rewriting what success feels for me, what it feels and looks like for me, because success is more about alignment and less about status and aesthetics and what you look like to everybody else. Mindset is another major change that you go through growing up. Understandably, our belief systems and our mindset and how we view things and our perspectives drastically change. You never stop worrying about things, you just change what you're worrying about. So in your 20s, you worry more about what people think of you, you worry about friendships, you want to have loads of friends, you want people to like you, you're looking more for validation, you worry about what you wear, how you look. Then you come into your 30s and your worries don't go necessarily, but you start worrying about different things. So you start worrying more about finances, about career paths. You start asking yourself, is this really what I want? what do I really want out of life? What do I really want out of career? You start looking for fulfillment other than just tick box activities or status or how you look or sound to somebody else. At this point in your life, you just want peace, and you're looking for it in every possible way, through friendships, through relationships, through careers. The changes that your body goes through in your 30s are quite significant, but not in the way that people try to scare you about when you're in your 20s. The only thing I ever heard, and because people, specifically men, are so fucking obsessed with the female anatomy, all I could hear around me was how allegedly I was going to be fat. So that's that out of the window. But your body is a lot less forgiving, especially with long nights out, drinking, eating certain junk foods. Let me tell you now, your body's going to tell you about it, how pissed off it is with you if you start going off track with like your healthy eating, your drinking, your clubbing. Even if I went clubbing now, which I wouldn't, because I'm telling you now, I don't have the fucking energy. If I went clubbing now, I think I'd need about a week recovery. No word of a lie. It's not because you're more mature that you stop going out and you stop having late nights, you stop drinking as much. It's simply because your body physically cannot fucking hack it. The way you 20-year-olds go out, and you can go out back-to-back nights drinking, yeah, forget that. That is gonna not happen. But also, you're gonna wanna do different things. So in my 20s, I loved going out clubbing. I loved drinking all fucking night. That's because the next morning, I'd be able to get up and go to the gym. Now, I will be on an IV fucking drip. That is why I don't do it anymore. But you want different things. You want to sit, you want to have a chat, you want to have a nice dinner, you want to have a nice glass of wine. And once again, it goes back to mindset, where you're not going to every single party you're offered or every single night out you're offered, because ultimately you don't feel the need to be everywhere. You just want to be around the people you want to be around, and you want to do the things that fulfill you. Health and fitness becomes more about longevity and feeling good instead of just looking good. In your 20s, you just want to look good. You're all for dieting and fitting into the latest trends and trying to look good for other people. Whereas in your 30s, you're thinking more about the long-term game. You're like, I want good joints. I want to lift better. I want to prepare my body better for menopause and perimenopause. You're more about feeling good instead of just looking good. You just want to sleep well. All kinds of relationships in your 30s, specifically your late 30s, make a huge difference to your life. You have less tolerance for surface level friendships, surface level relationships. They almost irritate you, and I, for one, can vouch for the fact that they actually enrage me. My last relationship, in terms of friendship, ended because the person was using me as an emotional support blanket. And I seem to end up in this role all the time in all friendships for some fucking reason. And the main reason being that I'm always told I seem like I have it together, which of course I can assure you I don't have it together. Even when I've explained to people categorically, I do not have it together, this is what's happening in my life right now, they still seem to think I'm going to be okay, or that I'm going to push through because I'm the strong one. And this friend in particular really disappointed me, because this person saw my life falling apart. They saw me lose 2 fucking jobs, not 1, 2. And they still, all they could support me with was, you'll be fine, you're strong enough to cope. That's not what I fucking need. And I can't have deadwood like that in my life. Not at my fucking age, not ever. I just don't have the mental capacity for it anymore. Honestly, at this point in my life, I am so done with being the responsible one. I want to be the fucking immature one now. This is why my friend circle is actually on 0, because I think it's just more peaceful like this. For now, anyway. And I guess the lesson here is not everybody grows with you. And that's absolutely fine. Even if it's sad, like even if you've had good friendships in the past and you find that you're maybe outgrowing that person or vice versa, just let it go. And I don't mean have this massive showdown, just let it go. let them run their course. If a friendship's meant to run its course or a relationship is meant to run its course, let it run its course. It means that you and that other person, you're not vibing anymore. You're not meant for each other. It means you'll meet other people along the way, depending on where your journey takes you. And same for the other person. They're going to meet their people along their way because they'll be doing a different journey to you. It's all about understanding that everybody's journey is literally individual to them, and they're going to find their people and you're going to find your people. I'm going to go back to the original comment that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Feeling like you have such little time to accomplish all the goals and almost like one lifestyle isn't enough. There's two things that I can go into here, and they're just a matter of opinion. By all means, take of it what you will. First and foremost, I don't believe this is the only lifetime that we have. I believe we've had several. I know I've done this life before, not this specific one. And I think that's actually why I didn't have kids in this lifetime, because I know I've already had kids in another lifetime. So there are plenty of lifetimes to do the things that you want to do. I just believe that in this lifetime, you'll do whatever it is that you do. And in the other life is the things that you'll also do. That's why I believe that I don't have kids in this lifetime. They actually say that if you don't want kids or you don't have kids, it's because you've already done it in another lifetime and this is your final cycle on Earth. And I am so fucking happy about that. If that is true, I hope it's true, because damn, I am not fucking coming back to this planet. Let me tell you that much. Goals are fickle. They come and go. And trust me when I say that a lot of the goals that you're probably setting yourself, you might not have in a few years' time. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean like you're going to give up on them, but you might have a different mindset around said goals. I had so many running goals, so many marathon goals. And honestly, in the last 2 to 3 years, my lifestyle around running has changed so much that those goals are now also changing. So beforehand, I used to look at it and think, oh my God, how am I going to do all of this? Like, and, you know, work a full-time job and run a household and go on holiday and rest and work and whatever. And you know what? I look back at those goals and I'm like, I can't even fucking be bothered anymore. I was doing the 6 world majors and I still am. I'm like halfway through it. And every now and again, I look back and I think, I really can't be bothered to do the other 3. You know, I don't know if I'm going to do them, but the point is I might do them, but also my goals around running are changing a lot because it's not bringing me the same amount of happiness again. And that's what I'm trying to say with you. Your goals, regardless of whether they're your hobbies, they're your life goals, your career goals, business goals, they might not be the same goals you have in a few months, a few years, a few decades. So don't put so much pressure on yourself to achieve a goal. And I'm trying to say this as someone I'm trying to practice what I preach, because I find this difficult sometimes, is that I take goals a little bit too seriously and it takes the fun out of it. And then I end up fucking being miserable. And then I just like, fuck it, I'm not having any goals. Last year I didn't have any goals. And this year I don't really know if I can be bothered to even set any goals. It is what it is. And if my motivation comes back, it does. If it doesn't, fuck it, don't care. But if you've joined for this long, thank you so much for joining. If you haven't already, make sure you give this video a massive thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.